With more people in Boston riding bikes and more of them getting hurt sometimes, there's a need for more ways to keep them safe. Our guest has an idea to protect everybody, but especially bikers at risk for getting hit by a motor vehicle. He wants to make it possible to equip bikes with something like a car horn, and he's trying to get support for the venture by raising money on Kickstarter. We'd like to welcome Jonathan Lansey. Thank you very much for being with us, Jonathan.
Thank you for having me.
I understand you're working on this with your brother. Go back to when you started to saying we need something more than just those little bells.
So a friend of mine got in a really terrible accident, but in the end she was pretty lucky and came out okay. But I thought we really shouldn't have to rely on luck in these situations. And so I figured, well, when you're driving a car, you have horns to alert motorists when things are maybe getting a little dangerous. And so I thought, why can't I just put a car horn on my bike? And that's exactly what I did.
Typically when you're riding, what is that most like? Maybe, for instance, when you're making a turn on a street with a lot of traffic, like Commonwealth Avenue?
Yeah, there are a few key situations where this horn is really helpful. For example, if you're going forward on a regular road, which maybe doesn't have any cars on it, so it's very quiet, but then a car might be backing up out of its driveway really quickly. Well, often drivers, if they don't hear any cars coming, they'll just kind of go right out there. And it's very difficult to alert them to your presence, and it's difficult for them to see you as well.
And of course, in that situation, the person backing out of the car can see where they're going, but not necessarily where you're going.
That's right. Because bikes usually are on the side of the road, so it's difficult to see them.
Another hazard for people riding bikes is getting doored. As they say, that you're moving down the street and somebody is just getting out of their car. I know we're supposed to look out that door when we're opening the door of a car, but sometimes it doesn't always work that way. So does this horn, you think, maybe work in that situation as well?
So I've actually been doored myself right a block away from here, over in front of Warren Towers. But I think that you should really be, in the particular case of dooring, it's best to ride far enough away from cars that you won't ever get doored, because that's just a better way to bike.
Well, maybe we can bring up this video that demonstrates
Sure.
what you have there, and I like this because it's outdoors. I get the sense of how it looks and how it sounds.
Drivers react really well to car horns, so I thought, why can't I just get a car horn for my bike? Well, I searched everywhere to buy one, but a car horn fit for bicycles simply didn't exist as a product. Well, I'm an engineer, so I made one. Actually, we've made quite a few, and they've all been really effective. Here's a few clips of me using the horn on my commute in and out of Boston. You see, people immediately understand what's going on when they hear a car horn. They brake even before they know where the sound is coming from. It's worked on everything, from little cars to big trucks. And you can have some fun with the horn too.
Jonathan, another question here is, it sounds loud, but is this cumbersome? Is it difficult? You have one with you here, so explain how this would fit.
So here you can see, here's the horn. It's not too heavy, and it fits right on your bike on one of the tubes. And then the button, can I
Sure,
honk it?
we should.
So that's how it sounds. And the button wraps right around your handlebar, and so you can keep it right under your thumb, and it doesn't interfere with braking at all. And
what about the way this is powered?
So it's powered with a really high-powered battery, similar to one that you'd find in your cell phone, and it's rechargeable.
Now, of course, the other thing you want to think of, especially with the bike, is that bikes get stolen a lot, and things on bikes can be stolen as well. How securely can you attach this?
So we did a survey, and people prefer that it be secured on the bike rather than taken off. And so to keep it theft-proof, we're using special bolts so that you need a special tool in order to remove it. You can't just use a regular screwdriver.
One of the other concerns we've had with people riding bikes lately, and some of them have been killed because of this, is that if you're riding a bike and you're going down the street and there's a tractor trailer, for example, making a turn, that is a hazard because it's possible that either the truck driver or the person on the bike won't know that they're coming at each other. And at the same time, I wonder, would this still be enough to maybe help with that situation?
Truck drivers are on the roads just like all the other cars, and they're used to hearing sounds of people honking at them, and they know exactly how to react when they hear that honk. And so if a truck is making a left turn that's coming right across the path of a cyclist, if that driver hears a horn, they're going to brake. They're not going to look to see something first, they're going to brake immediately. That's how we all are reflexively trained to react to car horns.
Now, one trick for people who ride cars more than bikes, and I think I'm one of those right now, is that if I hear a horn, I'm thinking, oh, somebody's coming up on my left maybe. But if you're on a bike, you're going to be on the other side.
That's
Probably.
true. Or that's not always the case. So, for example, a left turn is a very dangerous bike situation where you have a car pulling forwards and then, the bike is moving forwards in the right lane, and then across the street, a car is making a left turn and they don't see the bike. And so often the cyclist will think that that car has stopped, but in actuality, they were just stopping because of a stop sign or something like that.
Well, part of your business plan here is that I'm sure there are people riding bikes who want something, and maybe something very much like this. And the other question is, well, they'll pay something for it, but it's got to be only so much to really get a lot of them to do it. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, so we stress that this is not a toy. This is a serious safety accessory for your bicycle. And so the parts that it's made of are actually, they're like real car horns. It's not a toy. It's actually, so essentially you should expect to pay what's reasonable for it.
So anyhow, you have some people who've been chipping into this venture, and you actually are most of the way there.
Yeah, we're about 3/4 of the way there now. It's only been about 10 days.
So how does this work? Yeah, we call it crowdfunding, and for people who don't quite understand, what happens here?
So the way it works is we put up our project, and if enough people pre-order the horn through the website, then we'll have enough of the capital to run the manufacturing run and mass produce it in a cost-effective way.
And if people want to find out more, maybe help out with this, what's the best way for them to do that?
They can go to loudbicycle.com or just Google Loud Bicycle.
All right, thank you very much for being with us, Jonathan Lansey with the Loud Bicycle.